Okay. All right. Welcome to the first episode of BB Disney Aftershow, where Michael, was not expecting to see you this soon, my friend. Um, we're gonna start off plain and simple. Why do you think you're here?
I think it's more of a combination of a couple things. The first weekend was obviously not the best because there was a lot of just going on, still trying to sort everything out. Obviously, my job doesn't help me at all when I can't have my phone for 9 hours a day. It's really hard trying to communicate with people, but I just think it's really odd when, like, I know how I am as a player. The fact that this doesn't happen to me, and so I feel like definitely because there were some people in the game who would not give me the time of day. I don't know why, but it does feel like it's a little personal, which is weird because it's a bunch of people I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right. What about alliance chats? Were you in any alliance chats?
Sorry, still trying to get over a cough. Um, no, I wasn't, but that's also just how I play early on. I don't like forming alliances, but if I'm not going to stay true to them, if I'm not going to, I don't make promises that I don't think that I can't keep. And if I needed to make a group to make it to, especially this early on in the game, you shouldn't be selling your soul for anybody. And so I usually don't make an alliance until like the third or fourth vote. And did it bite me this time? Maybe. But the game usually doesn't start that quickly, unless you're in an all-star game, which this is not.
Gotcha. And question for you: Was this your first Big Brother game?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you chose a fabulous first one to start with. I should know. I did the same thing. So speaking of the wonderful BB Disney, what was your favorite part of your BB Disney experience?
This is sad to say. I don't even think I have one.
Okay. All right. Um, if you could go back and do something differently, what would you do and why?
I think it would definitely be try to make more time on that Saturday to start talking to people because I feel like that had to have been when it happened because I was active on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday when it could be. Either that or don't have a job where you work in a closed area. That could be the only other thing.
I gotcha. Yeah, sometimes that whole real life thing getting in the way of these games.
Hmm.
I know, I know. But yeah, John, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, I've got a couple questions. So I'm gonna go back to a little bit. Now you would thought that you would have been good with both Evan or Robert. Now, had Robert been HOH, do you think this would be a completely different situation?
Yeah, 100%. So I
So
know Robert was one of the three votes to keep me, and if Robert took the same tack that Evan did and wanted to keep their whole team safe, I would have been safe just from that. I
now,
think the whole week shakes out differently if Robert's the HOH.
now, why do you think Evan chose you though?
I honestly I think Evan was scared because I would have had Evans back for this game because I did know him coming in. At least that would not have been the reason I would have had his back for the whole game, but at
Yeah.
least some sort of relationship. I would not have went after him this quickly, but I think he got too scared of people who obviously threw my name out, and instead of saying no, I don't want to do that. I have a good relationship with him. He bent to the will of the other people.
Oh, excuse me. So you unfortunately, like you said, you didn't really get to have as memorable of an experience since you're sitting here with us now. But would you, if you were to given the opportunity to come back in a future season for a second chance season, would you jump at that opportunity?
I really don't know.
Oh, okay. Um,
I'd have to think about it.
okay. Because I mean, we'll have to say, do have to say, you were definitely a pick from a lot of the people on Prod. Prod definitely loved you coming into the game and everything. I mean, we loved your interview. I mean, you were picked among 49 people that applied. So I mean, it was no easy task to get onto this season. But we were really looking forward to seeing what you could do, and seeing you here already was a shock for all of us. Um, who do you think was if you don't think Evan was behind that call, who do you think was?
And the people I normally talk to, I don't think it'd be any of them. So I guess it'd be the people who either barely spoke to me or didn't speak to me at all. It wasn't Evan, maybe like Adam, Grace. I'm just throwing names at the wall. I really don't know. Well, Victoria also was trying to throw me under the bus my last day there, so I could go with her too.
Interesting. Now,
But I really can't put my finger on it.
now, had you been, I can honestly tell you, since there's no battle back, you're actually wrong on all counts of those.
I remember what?
You were wrong on all counts. What was I gonna say? Brain fart. So had Trevor not come down from the block, what do you think you would have had a better shot of staying?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
But I legitimately don't know.
So who do you think was the you, because you're pretty sure you know at least two of those votes, I'm assuming, to save you. Do you know who the third vote was?
I mean, I'm pretty sure Molly and Robert were two of them. They both told me they told Michael R they were voting him out.
And I can confirm that.
I'd want to say Lauren, but I feel like what you're asking is it wasn't Lauren.
You're exactly right. It is Lauren, actually.
It was Lauren who kept me, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Oh, okay, that was my original three. When then you asked that question, I'm like,
No, I just wanted to see if you see how well you had that. Now, I mean, talking to some of the other players, I mean, there were some people that did want to try and keep you around. Um, that I know that liked talking to you. I know Coach Andrew liked talking to you. Then the two of you were starting to have some good sports talks there and whatnot. But do you think it was just too little, too late type of thing, or
it was a little. I think it was maybe a little too late. I think
do
the
you,
other half of it was as much as Molly and Robert were trying to fight to keep me. There were probably more people fighting for me to go.
do
And at
you
that point,
think
with this early on in the game, you kind of have to just go with majority. So
so?
I don't blame them.
Yeah. So I'm sure you had heard through the house that one of the reasons that Robert was trying to push for you to stay was because of his previous relationship with Michael R.
Yeah,
Um, do you think that hindered you because people might have wanted to keep that around, that rivalry around instead?
now that you mentioned that, Trevor did mention to me a couple hours before eviction that he was debating whether to keep the drama around. He said I wasn't the drama, so it must have been Michael R. and Robert.
So do you think if maybe a different argument might have been used, that maybe that would have helped you stick around a little bit longer, or
I honestly think I was screwed either way.
I mean, my heart choked when you picked the HC double hockey sticks there during the veto comp. Um,
Don't get me started with that comp.
yeah, um, yeah. But oh, do you? So what final words do you have for us before we head on out? Who
I
are
mean,
you
it was
wishing? Who are you wishing the best for in the game?
Molly, Robert, and Lauren. That's really it.
All right.
Even though they knew the ship was sinking and they still went down with me.
There you go.
Well, Michael, we appreciate your insights and, knowing you for, I was like, oh, there's my dude. And then I'm like, oh no, but I'm glad you gave it a go.
Yeah, it was. I was happy I played. It was. Wish I'd went better, but
Mhm.
what can you do?
Sometimes the shit just hits the fan.
Mm-hmm. And now I can check first boot off my org bucket list.
I've joined you in that list. You can join myself, Hart, and quite a few others. We just got to get Keslin on this list now too. And
At least I won before I was
I'm
first
not
boot.
on that
So
there you
list
go.
either.
I've won
I am
before I was first boot. I can at least take solace with that.
There you go.
a solidly one as well.
This is true
Mhm.
because you are quite the damn good player, sir. So please, if we ever come back a call, and I really hope you do give it a good consideration, because like
I'll
we
definitely
said,
think about it.
yeah, because like you said, you had had a partial BB experience with another org before, and we definitely try and make sure that we are a little bit better than some of those other ones.
Mhm.
Mm.
But oh, we wish you well. We hope that you will continue to root everybody on going forward.
Mhm.
All
Yeah,
right.
well,
All right. I will
Awesome.
go ahead and stop
all
the
right.
recording.
Thank you both.
Yeah.